Football season is over, and on behalf of everyone at Wager Talk, we want to say thank you for the continued trust you put in our team of handicappers. Our ongoing success relies on the loyalty and support of customers like you. As a way to say thanks, from February 8th through the 14th, we're running a Customer Appreciation Week, and all daily pick packages at WagerTalk.com will be discounted to $9. And yes, of course, that includes any 5% best bets, normally priced at $40. Once again, thank you for your business and trust in the Wager Talk family.
And here we go. It is now a Thursday. Can't believe it. February the 11th. Welcome in to another edition of the College Basketball Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com. Loaded card here in college hoops today, and we got 4 games we're going to talk about, plus some best bets. We're going to go Big Ten, of course, Minnesota, Purdue, big matchup. Pac-12, Colorado, Stanford, a little Mountain West with Boise State, UNLV, and we'll also talk a little bit about this Oregon team tonight taking on Arizona State, and we will do all of that with our esteemed panel here today, none other than Marco D'Angelo in the house here, joining us once again. I got $5 as he goes Utah tonight. We also have Dave Koken in the house. Dave is here, and of course, welcome back, Ralph. We missed you yesterday. Little day off for everybody, but here's their Twitter handles, guys. Make sure that you are following them and check them out. That would be Marco in Vegas, at Dave Koken, at Cal Sports LV. And Marco, how you been, bud? It seems every time you're on the show, Utah comes up somewhere along the line, so that's why I'm willing to bet the $5 you're going to go Utah tonight. But how you been, bud, and what do you got going on for customer appreciation at Wager Talk?
Well, I've got to play up this afternoon. It's a early evening start, or should say a very early evening. Don't snooze on it over at Wager Talk. It's a conference blowout game, just $9. And guys, we've been running well. Number one at Wager Talk this season, both winning percentage and money won. And over the last 3 weeks, 21 days, guys, it's been incredible. 36 and 15. So grab that play this afternoon for just $9. It's up right now.
All right, guys. It is customer appreciation as well. Dave, yesterday on the show, he had a 5-pack of games. Dave, it was a profitable night for you, my man. What do you got? What do you got in store for us today at Wager Talk?
Yeah, it was okay. 3-1-1 on the 5-game package. I did lose a free play, but it was still a winning night. With 3 underdogs that all won comfortably outright. So that was good. And the cool part was, you got 5 plays for a grand total of $9, $1.80 per selection. Today, I'm charging a little more per selection. I've got 3 games, 2 college basketball, 1 NHL, and it's $9 for all 3, so you're having to pay a big $3 per selection today. 3 games, I like them all, and just go to my homepage at WagerTalk, wt.buzz/DC, and you'll find the 3 games right there.
Unbelievable. Ralph Michaels, what's going on, my man? We missed you yesterday. How'd you do last night? And what do you got going on today at Customer Appreciation Week?
Thank God for Dave Koken, because I have 5 plays today. You're getting all 5 for $9, and now I don't have to do the math. That's $1.80 a play. So off another 3 in one day, 9 and 2 run the last 3 days, 4% plays. Now 32 and 14, 70%, 2 4% best bets today, 5 college basketball plays overall. First game does tip at 4 p.m. I'm going to give that play out for free. So as long as you get my package before 6 p.m. Eastern today, you'll get all those plays fresh at WagerTalk.com.
Great opportunity, guys. $9 Customer Appreciation Week. As you, if you're just joining us for the first time, packages up, guys, tonight, ready to go. $9, like you just heard. Make sure you head over to WagerTalk.com. Just our way of saying thank you very much for all the support here. All you got to do is go to their handicappers pages there. You got Marco, you got Ralph, and of course you got Dave Koken. Customer Appreciation Week. Take advantage of it. Let's make it a profitable Thursday night if we can. Let's take a look at some of those top performers there before we dive into this Purdue-Minnesota matchup here. This, of course, is from last night. Villanova, another impressive showing against Marquette. Also, LSU, Ralph, finally a good win for that program there against Mississippi State last night.
Middle of the rungings, nothing crazy impressive, 27 points, the top performance. But when you see Javonte Smart getting 22 points with 11 assists, that certainly stands out to me.
Yep, you got a couple of games, interesting covers from yesterday, too. And when you go down the list here, there's that Villanova-Marquette game showing up again. And congratulations, Dave, your best bet on the show yesterday, Tulane-Tulsa. You called it, didn't make a difference, 6.5, 7.5, it cashed. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, talked about Tulsa. I still can't figure out how they won all those games early in the season. They're a bad basketball team. So's Tulane, but Tulane was quite a bit less bad yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, and finally some totals from yesterday. Take a look at what we had there. Tennessee, Georgia, that went way over the total, Ralph. And Nebraska, Wisconsin, what a shocker. That one went under, but wow, did that go under by 29 last night.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Wisconsin, I'm looking ahead to Sunday. Michigan and Wisconsin. Michigan off that layoff to Wisconsin. It might be first team to 47 wins.
Yeah, it could very well be. All right, let's check it out, guys. Let's start in the Big Ten. Purdue taking on Minnesota here tonight. And certainly Purdue, one of the hotter teams in the Big Ten over the last couple of weeks here. 138.5 is the total. Minnesota opened up as a 2-point favorite in this one. And Marco, I'm going to come to you. I'm seeing 2.5s now, 141 maybe. A little up on the total and a little down there on Minnesota, or a little up rather on Minnesota. How do you have these two teams, rated right now and approaching this game tonight?
Well, if you look at the game, knee-jerk reaction is going to be to look at Purdue. As you said, they're playing some good basketball. But I dug a little bit deeper, and I look at this Minnesota team, guys. They're 3-6 in their last 9 games. But if you take a look at that 9-game stretch, listen to what they played. This was over a 5-game stretch. They played Wisconsin, Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa, and then Michigan again. That's a murderer's row as far as the Big Ten goes. And that's why you're seeing that the performance that they had go 3-6 over 9 games. But if you look deeper, this team has been dynamite at home. They're 10-3 against the spread at home this season, 12-1 straight up. The one home loss at home was the game immediately following their huge upset of Michigan. They were a small dog. It wasn't a big upset as far as the point spread goes, but they really took it to Michigan, who is clearly the best team in the Big Ten. They were fat and sassy, flat, whatever term you want to use for that one loss. I don't think they lose on their home floor tonight. I like Minnesota in this one. I'll go ahead and lay the points with Minnesota here in this one, in this Big Ten matchup against Purdue.
All right, Dave, we've seen Purdue struggle sometimes on the road here. Here they are in Minnesota here. Do you trust Minnesota to get the job done tonight on their home court?
Somewhat. Purdue's playing better basketball than Minnesota right now. But the Gophers have a different mindset at home. This is a team with a big home-road dichotomy. They've been a bad road team, and they've mostly gotten trampled on the road. But put them on their home court, and they just play a different brand of basketball. I tend to put a lot of stock into that as we get deeper into the season. And from an importance standpoint, I think it's an equally big game for both teams. Both teams definitely need wins here. Purdue's probably in better shape for the tournament than Minnesota. And from that standpoint, I do think the Gophers needed a little more than Purdue. I think it's close, but I like Minnesota to get the job done.
Likes Minnesota to get the job done. And Ralph, better form right now. Purdue here, but on the road against a Minnesota team, like David said, has been much better at home than on the road. How do you have it going tonight?
Well, I'm going to go against the two guys. I like Purdue. They just got Sasha Stefanovic back. Their 3-point shooter. He only played 15 minutes last game, but he's going to be a powerful tool here. And, these teams played, 3 games ago, and Minnesota was a 1.5-point road favorite, and now they're laying 2.5. So you look at that adjustment, you say, well, certainly there's value with Minnesota with the line, but I don't think so. I just think it's Purdue with current form being that much better, and we're getting value now. I look at Minnesota, and they had lost 3 straight games, and they had a circle the wagons game against Nebraska. I had a best bet on Minnesota. That game was tied with like 3 minutes to go. Minnesota needed a 15-1 run to cover that spread, thankfully, and cover the 11.5. But they've been in a desperation mode, and they still haven't played well. This Purdue team, again, you've gone onto the road. They covered against Maryland. They beat Ohio State. They beat Indiana. They beat Michigan State. To me, they're the better team, and Purdue wins tonight.
All right, there we go. Got a split panel. Love it there, guys. Great game that is going to be Purdue, Minnesota. And we're going to head to the Big 12 because this is going to be a pretty good game here tonight as well when Colorado takes on Stanford here tonight as Colorado opens up as a 2-point favorite. 139.5 was the opening number. I'm seeing ones now in a lot of places. Also coming down a little bit on that number, 137.5. And Dave, it seems like we've talked about Stanford over the last month or so, dealing with some injury issues, some quality of teammate issues, and yet here they are, and pretty decent here over the last month, given all the circumstances. Do you like them here in this spot against Colorado?
No, not really. Not that I trust Colorado, because Colorado's a team that I think they're loaded on paper, but they don't always play that way, and they don't always play that way in the context of the game itself. The Arizona game last weekend, a perfect example of that. I mean, they absolutely had the Wildcats blown off the court and let them back in the game and almost blew it. They did manage to win it late, but that's the issue I have with Colorado is they have trouble putting 40 minutes together at times. Now, the good news is in what was a potential flat spot for them on Monday, they had what might have been their best game of the year against Oregon State. They really smashed the Beavers in that game, and it was a letdown spot for them. That impressed me. And if if Colorado is now in that mode, then they're just better than Stanford, and they'll go in and win this game. Stanford's not going to be easy. They're a very sound fundamental team, extremely well coached. But man for man, they really can't match up with Colorado. They didn't in the first meeting. It was a pretty easy win for Colorado. Going back to that game, I think Stanford had a very, very small lead early and then just got pretty much run out. I don't think it's a run out tonight, but I do think Colorado's going to win this basketball game, so that's the only side I could play.
Two teams that have had very interesting paths so far this year, Ralph. Currently, though, which one do you have more confidence in this matchup?
Well, you look at Stanford, and it's like eye-popping. Their last 3 games, you think of Stanford and their defense. Last 3 games, they've shot 52, 54, and 58%. Now, granted, 2 of those games were against Cal. Joe, when you started saying this game, you said Big 12. Are you thinking Colorado and Nebraska football the day after Thanksgiving?
You know exactly. I'm an old Big
thing.
8 guy, so that's the problem. Yeah. Exactly. I'm looking at it and say Big 8. You got to be kidding.
I laughed when you said it because that's what I still think of. Those 2 teams belong in the Big 8. So, I like Stanford here, and I'll tell you what, it's scary how well they've played, missing 3 starters for most of those games. Now, they've got 2 of them back. Duarte was back last game. He only played 15 minutes. He was limited. Zaire Williams, who we didn't know what happened to, an incredible 5-star recruit, he sat on the bench, and they expect him to play tonight. And Dejon Davis is close to coming back. So while you're getting two of their best 3 players back, I didn't use them because of the continuity issue. A lot of times you bring people back and you think all of a sudden, your star or best players are back in the lineup, you're going to be better. Well, without those minutes practiced, without those minutes played, I'm afraid to use them. But certainly look for Stanford. If those players gel, they have a big finish. I'm going to watch in this game, see how those players react, see if they do put Zaire in. They're not sure. They didn't commit to playing him today, but they did have him sit on the bench the entire last game, so he is back with the team and practicing.
How are you approaching this game, Marco, from a side or from a tempo and total standpoint here? Because the market seems to be coming down from the total in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the side in this game. I will give you a note on the total. Stanford, they're 6-0 to the over in their home games this season. So a little contrary there with the money coming on the under. But I'll be the tiebreaker. You got Dave on Colorado and Ralph on Stanford. I'm going to side with Ralph on this one. I like Stanford. I like the way they're playing. As he alluded to, they're shooting the lights out of the basketball the last 3 games. And they're coming in here facing this Colorado team that, yeah, on paper, Colorado looks good. But we got Stanford playing with revenge. And I like to go back and look at the first meeting. I don't necessarily jump on board every game that's a revenge situation because basically in most of these conferences, you are playing twice a year and half the games are going to be revenge situations. But what I did notice from that first meeting is Stanford shot as bad as you could shoot. They shot 36% in that game. And I will note that it was the second of back-to-back road games for them. They played the old dreaded 2-day Utah-Colorado trip. So you get a little bit of the altitude factor in there. They're playing good basketball right now. I think they keep the momentum going. In Stanford at home, the last 2 seasons following a win, they're 8-1 against the spread. So let's go ahead and keep that rolling. Let's take Stanford at a short number tonight to get the job done over Colorado.
All right. Likes the current form there of Stanford in this matchup. I will stay in the Pac-12, Ralph. I will do it coming up in a second here. We're going to go to Oregon, Arizona State. But first, I just want a quick reminder, guys. It is Customer Appreciation Week here at WagerTalk.com. And if you didn't have a chance to hear all of these guys locked and loaded here tonight at WagerTalk.com, their best bets are up. $9 packages. That's right, $9. Go get the games here tonight. You got an opportunity to make it a very profitable Thursday night. Do it. Just Wager Talk's way of saying thank you so very much for the support over the last year. And $9 packages continue here for Customer Appreciation Week. Head over to their pages now at WagerTalk.com. All right, let's go. Pac-12, Oregon, Arizona State. Ralph, I'm coming to you. It's been a hell of a season for Oregon thus far. They opened up as a 1.5 favorite here. Total also at 152.5 as an open. They have, between injuries and COVID and stoppage, it's been very hard to get, put your finger on the pulse of this Oregon team, but Arizona State is underachieving all year as well. So you look at this game, how do you approach it?
Well, Arizona State finally won and covered a game in the Pac-12, beating Stanford the other night, and they covered that by 1 point. So, you would have to look to Oregon, even though Oregon's 2-3 their last 5 plays. Their last 3 games at home, losing back-to-back home games against Oregon State and Washington. I certainly lean Oregon, but again, they've got injury issues which are a concern to me. They have 2 players that average over 30 minutes. Duarte, who is their leading scorer, second leading rebounder, he's listed as doubtful tonight. Eric Williams averages 33 minutes. He's their 4th leading scorer. He's listed as questionable. So it's a game that I'm going to look, and if those players happen to be playing game time when they're warming up, I'll be on Oregon. If not, I'm just going to watch this one. I still do lean with the under. I lean with the over in this game because you look at Arizona State, they're 4-1 to the over the last 5, and Oregon 5 straight overs, as they do not have the normal Dana Altman defense as we're accustomed to. You don't have the practice, you don't have the continuity. Some teams it hurts on offense. In Oregon, it's obvious this year those people missing practices has hurt on the defensive side of the ball.
Tough. It's a tough game, Marco, to look at here with these 2 teams. A lot of uncertainty here, layoffs in between for both of them. So how do you approach it? Side, total in this matchup? Where are you going?
I'm going to go to the home side here. We've seen some money come in on this game with the home side, and part of that is due to the Oregon injuries, of course. But you look at Arizona State, and, man, the Pac-12 has been, a nightmare to try to handicap this season simply because of all of these cancellations. Arizona State has had, this is coming off their second pause this season. They haven't played since January 30th. I look for them to have a big game, though. this is a spot where I think you got a chance for this team. They had injuries early in the year as well to come together. Bobby Hurley get this team focused for the stretch run. They have won back-to-back games, albeit it was against California and Stanford, not two of the stronger teams. But Oregon's been ultra inconsistent as well. I'm going to look for the home side to get it done. I will say, if you look at a stat, this one's against Arizona State. They're just 2-11 against the spread this season. They have been absolute money burners. But as I said, they have won 2 in a row. They've shot 50% from the field in both of those games. So maybe this pause, they have a little bit of momentum, get some chemistry going. I'm going to take a shot with Arizona State tonight, but it is one of my weaker opinions.
Two teams that are underachieved, Dave. It's a tough matchup here. Which side are you leaning?
Well, the numbers moved because Oregon opened the favorite. Now they're the dog, plus 1.5. And I'll look to take the 1.5. Look, Arizona State's had a really bad season. Forget the 6-8. They were 4-8. They finally win 2 in a row, get a little momentum. And what happens? They go on the sidelines for 2 weeks again, almost 2 weeks. It's just a season where nothing is going right for them. Oregon's got injuries, and they haven't been real good lately. There's no question about that. But Dana Altman's made no secret of the fact that these 2 games this weekend are absolutely huge for the Ducks. They're in trouble to get to the NCAA tournament. They're on the bubble right now, and they need wins at this point. I don't know that the Pac-12 is going to get 4 teams into the NCAA tournament. They're going to have to get some wins to fortify their position. I think this is an opportunity to do it. Look, the Arizona State chemistry issue has been an issue all year long. Oregon, while they're not in good form, I'll give them the edge on the sidelines with Altman, and I think they're just a tougher team than Arizona State. To me, the value is now with the Ducks as dogs.
All right, going with the Ducks there. You're right. It has absolutely flipped in that contest, too. So must-have game here for Oregon. All right, we got one more game coming up for our best bets here, guys. UNLV taking on Boise State. And this is an interesting clash here. And I'm going to start, Marco, with you, my friend. Boise State opens up as a big favorite, 11.5 up against this UNLV team, which has not been good at times in your backyard. Total at 142. That was what it opened at. I'm seeing 139.5. So I'm also seeing 9.5 now. So somebody likes UNLV a little bit here. Marco, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to lean to UNLV in this one. It's going to be a small vote because this is one of those ones where they are playing back-to-back, and I want to see the result of the first meeting, and I'll probably have a bigger play in the second meeting. But if you look at this UNLV team, what's hard to get a grasp is they opened the season winning 4 or 5 games. So we thought, hey, maybe finally we got a new coach. Maybe, they're learning a system, I think it's the second year for him or maybe the third. This is a spot where after winning 4 or 5, then they have that big gap, where they had, shut down, missed games and so forth. But since they've come back, they lost first 2 games off of the layoff from the COVID issues earlier in the season. But now they've rolled off 7 out of 10 wins. And I think this is a team that might actually be flying under the radar a little bit. The 3 games that they lost all in a row. One of them was the second game of a back-to-back against the same team when they won the first one. And then the other 2 games, they went to Nevada, their arch rival, and they lost both games up in Reno. Since then, they come back and they won again. Don't get too excited about the lackluster performances against Air Force. I don't care, even in the heydays, it seems, of UNLV. Whenever they play Air Force, it seems like Air Force puts them to sleep. They just don't do well against them. I think they've got a good chance here to stay inside of this number. Boise State is a team that's one of the, better teams in the conference. They have lost 3 out of 4. So the knee-jerk reaction with them returning home after playing 4 straight on the road is to jump on them here. But I think the line's just a little bit inflated. I'm going to take UNLV here, and I'll tell you, if UNLV plays them tight or pulls the upset, I'll be looking at Boise in game 2 when they play in 2 days.
They certainly have done pretty good here, Dave. UNLV, that is 7 of 8. They've won. It was a tough weekend, of course, for Boise State and Nevada. But how do you have these two teams going at it here tonight?
Well, I mean, Boise's went from being in a comfortable spot to all of a sudden they're back on the bubble because they lost 2 games at Nevada, and it's not like the Mountain West is going to be getting a whole bunch of teams in. So it is now imperative that Boise take care of business here. If they don't sweep UNLV, they can pretty much forget the tournament because they've got 2 with Utah State and then 2 with San Diego State to end the regular season. So these are must games for Boise. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to get them done, but I think coming off the 2 performances, especially the second game where they were just really bad, they were just bad against Nevada in that second game. I think you're going to get a big effort out of Boise tonight. I don't think the Rebels can stay with them for 40 minutes. So to me, -10 is the way I'd look in this game. It's not a play for me, not even close to a play, but if you're looking for an opinion, mine would be on the Broncos.
Just seems like, he brings up a good point, Ralph. Seems like we've got a Boise State team that's kind of hit a wall here. They're kind of in a rut. They were horrible shooting in that Nevada series there. So do you think they can turn it around here against UNLV?
I don't know if they hit a rut, Joe, or they were just a little bit overrated. I mean, they played the weakest Mountain West schedule. You look at the San Jose's, the New Mexicos, and the Air Forces. Well, I'll tell you what, 8 teams are going to go 6-0 against those 3. So then they just started playing the rest of the competition. And, we saw some of their flaws. I'm going to look to the over in this game. Boise's the number 3 team in the Mountain West in terms of tempo. You look at UNLV's games, and some of them are so skewed. Air Force, one of the slowest teams. And while UNLV tends to be on the slower tempo side as well, in the 200s, I think Boise presses the pace here. Boise has emergency, losing 3 of the last 4 games. They're going to have to run. UNLV is going to have to keep up with them on the road. I do like the over. Take the extra value with that line dropping down to, I think I saw 139 at the half, 139 and a half at last glance.
All right, there you go, guys. 4 matchups there. Time for our best bets, and we'll get to those in a second. But a quick reminder, head over to WagerTalk.com. Customer Appreciation Week, guys. $9 packages. Dave's plays locked and loaded right now at his page at WagerTalk. Also, Marco, ready to go tonight. Loaded card for him, $9. And Ralph as well. 5 plays at Ralph's page at WagerTalk.com. $9 packages all week long. Continue here in Customer Appreciation Week. Just our way of saying thank you so very much for all the support over the year. All right, let's take a look at our friends from the Gold Sheets. And the Gold Sheet today, Ralph, looks like Weber State's taking on Montana. Should be a very interesting matchup here. Almost a pick 'em, I think, last I checked. But it looks like they're favoring Weber State in this one.
They are, and, take a look. You see now the new wider format. Why is there a wider format? Well, they have the last 5 games listed for each opponent, and then right above it, take a look at those last 5 game averages. They have average scores. They have average opponent power ratings, the ATS numbers, so it gives you a great glance at current form and how the team looks. I faded Montana State a couple games ago. They were really an overrated team, sort of like Utah State. They were 7-0 in the Big West, playing the bottom feeders in the Big West. And now I think Weber State will catch them. I totally agree with the play. Gold Sheet play of the day, Weber State.
Love it. All right, knowledge is power there, Marco. So go ahead and bestow some of that on us. Who you going with tonight? What game you got circled for us?
Gee, let me think. It's Thursday, Pac-12.
Oh, I knew it.
Can we go to Utah?
Give me the $5.
Guys, we look at this Utah team. You know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've treated me well. We've done well with them on the show here, and I'm coming right back with them. I like the spot they're in tonight. Utah opened the season 4-1. Then they had a 13-day pause due to COVID. When they returned, they lost 4 in a row. So, everybody's down on Utah. Well, the first 2 games of that 4-game slide, was against USC and UCLA, 2 of the best teams in the Pac-12. Right now, Utah is shooting the lights out of the basketball. Last 4 games, they have shot 55%, 51, 50, and 51%. This team is playing well right now. I think they're flying under the radar. And you look at California, they're just a train wreck. They have lost 6 in a row. And, guys, somehow their last win that they had prior to that 6-game losing streak was against Utah. So you know Utah is going to be focused, losing on their home floor. And they lost by 9 points on their home floor. I think they get the revenge tonight in this one. We'll go ahead. We'll take Utah. And here is a little stat for you. Over the last 3 seasons, when Utah is coming off a win as an underdog, they won their last game. They were a small dog to Arizona. 7-0 against the spread in their next game. Again, it ain't broke. Don't fix it. Take Utah.
Fine, it was easy money. That was just easy money, Mark. Knew you were going Utah, my friend. All right, come on, Dave. Talk to us. Great job yesterday with Tulane for your best bet on the show. What are you going to do today? What game are you looking at?
I already explained why I like Oregon. I think there's value at +1.5. If you want to know the reasons, go back in the show if you missed it and listen to the earlier analysis. I'll take the Ducks for the best bet.
That's it. Give me the Ducks. All right, Ralph. What game did you circle for us here on the show?
Well, for those that I watched Andy Griffith yesterday, a half-hour show. So, you know, if you go to Mayberry and then you make a right-hand turn, you get to Farmville, Virginia. So I wanted to use Longwood tonight. This is an actual client's play, and this does start at 4 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to buy my package and it's a little later in the day, if you buy my 5 games, the 4 games that tip at 6 p.m. Eastern, this is the one that tips at 4 p.m. I'm going first half, under 62, Longwood and Gardner-Webb. It's going to be a competitive game. I want to use the first half to keep any fouling out of free throw situations late. Longwood, one of the slowest tempo teams. We have 2 defenses better than the offenses, 2 incredibly slow paced teams. Games in early start, which takes them out of their familiarity as well. 4 p.m. Eastern tip, under 62 first half, Longwood and Gardner-Webb.
All right. Love the whole deductive reasoning there, too, on how you got that game. That was fantastic. I'm looking at, I don't understand the line, but Oregon State getting 12 points against an Arizona team who's lost their last 4, averaging around 67 points in those 4 losses. I'll take the 11.5, 12 points that Oregon State's getting on the road here tonight. Not nearly as bad as Arizona has been playing as of late. So give me that. Don't forget, best bet recap. We got Weber State with our friends from the Gold Sheet. They are laying 1 right now, so go with it. And, of course, Ralph just gave you Gardner-Webb, Longwood first half under. Dave loves them, Oregon there, +1.5 right now. Take the points. Marco, he's got, shocker, Utah laying a 4 in Cal, and Oregon State +12 in their matchup against Arizona. Customer Appreciation Week, guys. Take advantage of it all week. Couple of days left here. The opportunity, $9 packages at WagerTalk.com. Visit Marco D'Angelo's page. Visit Dave Koken's page. And, of course, visit Ralph Michaels' page. They are locked and loaded for today, guys. Go get them for $9 at WagerTalk.com. On behalf of Marco, Dave, and Ralph, guys, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner if you can. Subscribe, and then come back and join us again tomorrow. We get to do it all over again. Best of luck with your plays. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We're just getting started with one of the busiest betting periods of the year. The heart of conference play in college hoops and the NBA and NHL are in action daily. Our golf handicappers prove that golf matchups can be beat, and our NASCAR guys can't wait until February 14th for the Daytona 500. Toss in soccer, MMA, and even player props, and the experts at Sports Memo have you covered. Get select Sports Memo handicappers for a full week, 7 days of all access, all just for $49 each. You heard me right, just $7 per day. Get every pick they release in every sport, including any 5% best bet. To redeem this offer, just go to sportsmemo.com, choose your handicapper, and use coupon NEXT49 when purchasing a 7-day all-access pass. This coupon has limited use, but expires this Sunday with no exceptions, so act fast.